Hi, my name is Kate. And the other day on the Facebook group, someone brought up some nervousness about making rips on the table saw. So I wanted to go over some of the methods that I teach in my class to hopefully give you guys some more confidence or maybe some new methods that you could try to be able to gain a little more confidence when ripping on a table saw. So let's try some out. So I do have the SawStop model, and we want to talk about some of the safety features that are incorporated in this saw real quickly. You've got your guard here. You've got anti-pro kickback back here, right here. And this is called a riving knife. So hopefully your saw has some of these features. If not, maybe I'll break this down a little bit and kind of show a version that most of you may be using. So you also have push sticks. You can get the factory push stick that it comes with. You can home make a version like this, just so as you're pushing your material through, if you have a narrow cut, you can keep your hand away from the blade as much as possible, which is the goal when you're woodworking, keeping your hands away from the blade as much as possible. So rips versus cross cuts. Rips are typically with the length of the grain of the wood, and a lot of people there's some debate and confusion about the height that your blade should be set at. So right now, if I were to cut this 3/4 piece of plywood, you can see my blade is quite a bit above the top of the thickness of the piece of wood. So at a minimum, some people say keep your blade really low. That makes me nervous because when you're working with a piece of hardwood, you don't know if that piece of wood is going to have a bow or a twist, and you do not want that blade to disappear out of your sight line. So at a minimum, I like to have the blade just above these little gullets right here. Hopefully you can see that point that I'm trying to point out. You've got your teeth. You've got your carbide teeth here. This little swoop down here is called a gullet. So if your blade is a 1/2 inch or so above that gullet, it does two things. It allows the sawdust to clear out of the blade. Secondly, if your blade is a little bit higher, that centrifugal force actually aids in keeping pressure down on your board as you're pushing it through. So we're gonna do some cuts, but I wanted to discuss where our focus needs to be when we cut. So we know where the blade is, we're aware of the blade, and we respect the blade. That's first and foremost. Secondly, you want all of your energy and all of your focus to be right here, okay? So it's almost like twisting the top of a medicine bottle, or the top off of a medicine bottle, okay? So you want to push down and slightly give a little bit of turn into this fence line right here. Your sight line should be concentrated and your energy should be focused right here, because if you're watching the blade and not watching the distance here, you could be coming away from the fence and then you're going to get yourself into trouble. So I can demonstrate a little bit easier here. So you really want your sight line to be from your workpiece to your fence, because like I said, if you're getting a shadow line and getting away because you're looking at the blade and you're not looking here, that's going to cause you some trouble. So first and foremost, we're going to focus our energy and we're going to slightly push down and we're going to twist. and we're going to keep our energy focused right there, okay? Okay, so along with all your guards and everything else that you need to have in place to make proper cuts, I also suggest wearing safety glasses. I love these. They have a nice little rubber gasket. They are awesome safety glasses. So let's make some cuts. We're going to make some 2-inch rips out of this 1/2-inch MDF. So again, I'm happy with my blade height here. So we're going to make some 2-inch rips. So you want to inspect your piece, make sure you're starting with a clean edge, hopefully. You want to make sure there's no debris along your fence, in between your blade. This is a guide hand. I'm going to use my guide hand to keep pressure. Again, we're really focusing all of our energy right there, okay? Guide hand, just putting pressure. This is a smaller piece, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my guide board to push it through. Make sure you push the material all the way past the back of the blade, okay? So let's switch over to a thicker piece of plywood. And again, so I'm just using my left hand as a guide hand. I am putting slight pressure down here, but I'm just watching this sight line right here, making sure there's no sway or movement there. I don't ever let my guide hand get past the lettering of the S on the saw stop, okay? I don't want my guide hand to be putting pressure right against the blade. It wants to just be right here. This is where you want the pressure. If you follow your guide hand and put pressure where that blade is, you're going to pinch the blade and not allow the blade to do the cut. Okay? And again, just really change your mindset to focus and watch for any deviation here, because I think a lot of people get too focused on watching the blade and what it's going to do. You lose sight of what's happening here, and what's happening here is the most important thing. Okay, so hopefully that gives you guys some tips and tricks to try and just practice, be safe, and make some sawdust. Thanks. Bye.